Hello and welcome to the series of The Merchant of Venice. We are on Act 3, Scene 2 in the final phase of this scene. Up till now, we have discussed that Bassanio has won the lottery of caskets. He has opened the lead caskets, and Bassanio and Portia have discussed their feelings regarding each other, and they were discussing that they are real for each other. Meanwhile, there was an interruption in the scene, and their friends of Venice comes there, and Lorenzo, Jessica and Salerio enter over there. So, up to this point we have discussed in the prior videos, and we will start from here to the end of the scene. So, the scene is in the Belmont in the Portia's house, where Portia, Nerissa, her attendants, and Gratiano, Bassanio, and the new characters that have entered are Lorenzo, Jessica and Salerio. So, with the starting of this part of the scene, Bassanio welcomes to Lorenzo and Lorenzo's wife Jessica and his old friend of Venice, Salerio. He says that Lorenzo and Salerio welcome hither, means Lorenzo and Salerio welcome here. If that the youth of my interest here, so have power to bid you welcome. So, whatever rights, whatever interest I have attained over here, if that interest, that rights give me the power to welcome here, because Bassanio has just become the Lord of Belmont there at the Portia's wealth and Portia's seat of Belmont. So, with this, Bassanio says that this is the time I have got the power, but that is newly inherited power, and if that power allows me, so I welcome you. By your leave, I bid my friends and my countrymen sweet Portia welcome. So, Bassanio is a little bit shy because he has just attained the powers. He says that if you allow, I will welcome my countrymen and my friends. So, he is asking sweet Portia, can I welcome them? So, Portia said, so do my lord. So, Portia says, yes my lord, they are entirely welcome. So, Portia is saying that they are entirely welcome, you may welcome all. So, what Lorenzo says now, because Lorenzo is over there, I thank your honor for my part, my lord. So, they are all talking in a respected way, because Bassanio has now become a big lord. So, Lorenzo says that I thank your honor. As for me, my intention, my purpose was not to have you seen here. So, Lorenzo is a bit shy. He says that I did not want it to be here, but meeting with Salerio, by the way, he did entreat me past all saying nay to come with along. So, but I did not intend it to come over here at the Belmont, but when I met Salerio, he forced me, he persuaded me, and past all saying nay to come with him, and without talking and without taking any refusal, he just said that I should come along with him. So, it was Salerio who forced Lorenzo to come over there and meet Bassanio and tell the situation, and the reason was that he has a letter from Antonio which he wanted to give to Bassanio. Now, Salerio says, I did my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio commends him for you. So, Salerio now clarifies that why did he force Lorenzo to come over there. Now, Salerio clarifies that yes, I did, I forced Lorenzo to come and meet you, because it's Signor Antonio who has commended, who has sent you greetings. So, Bassanio says, open this letter, I pray you tell me how good friends doth. So, Bassanio says that before I open this letter, just I pray you, I request you, just tell me how is my good friend. Salerio said, not sick my lord, unless it to be in mind. So, neither he is sick nor he is well. Why? Why is in a position of dilemma? Because he cannot be well unless he has that thing in mind. Basically, he is indicating about the bond that is forfeited. Nor well unless in the mind, his letter there will show you his state. So, in this way Salerio explains that neither sick nor well my lord, unless it is in his mind. but his letter will tell you about his financial status. So, letter will tell that his financial status is not good, he is neither sick nor well. So, this is the way Salerio explained the position of Antonio. Now, Gratiano says to Nerissa has now agreed to become the wife of Gratiano. So, now Gratiano says to Nerissa, cheer you stranger, cheer you a stranger, bid her welcome. So, Gratiano is saying that you should welcome Jessica. So, he is saying to Nerissa that you should welcome this stranger Jessica and your hand Salerio, and he is asking that I want to have a handshake with Salerio. So, as Salerio is a old friend of Venice, of Gratiano and Bassanio both. So, he is asking for a handshake. What's news from Venice? So, he is saying that what is news from the Venice? How doth that royal merchant good Antonio? So, he is asking how do that royal merchant good Antonio, how good that merchant royal Antonio is doing. I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. So, he says that Antonio must be glad of our success because we all are Jasons and we have won the golden fleece. So, they are talking about their success and they are aware that Antonio must be aware of our success. Salerio says, I would you have won the fleece that he had lost. So, Salerio is not bit optimistic. He says that I wish that you could have won the fortune that he has lost. So, Salerio says that he has a doubt that whether you have won that much fortune that he has lost because it cannot be compensated. Now, Portia says, now Portia interferes and Portia is rather in doubt what's happening around. So, Portia asks, there is some shrewd contents in the same paper. Now, letter has been given to Bassanio. Now, Portia said that there is some bad news in the paper that is still the color of Bassanio's cheek. So, now the color of Bassanio's cheek is not over there. So, color of Bassanio's cheek is stealed, means he has lost the color of his cheeks. So, some dear friend did, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution. So, the only news that can change a face of a man like this is the news that his friend is dead, and I must freely have the half of anything that this paper brings you, and as I am half of you. So, if there is a bad news for you, that is half for me. So, that is Portia saying that this paper has brought a bad news for me, bad news for you, but that news I should bear a half because I am now your half part. What Bassanio says now? Bassanio reply in anticipation to Portia that, oh sweet Portia, here are few of unpleasant words. So, in this letter there are some unpleasant words. So, now what are those unpleasant words? That ever blotted paper. So, these are unpleasant words that have ever been written on a paper. So, this shows how much disappointed Bassanio is. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you. So, gentle lady, when I did first show my affection to you, when I first came in contact to you, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman. I told you one thing, that I am not a very rich person, but the only wealth I do have is that I have a noble blood. I belong to a noble family. I belong to a noble background. So, this was the truth that Bassanio told to Portia, and he didn't lie. He told that he didn't have much wealth. So, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was braggart. So, he is now feeling frustrated. He says that when I told you that I have nothing, then too I exaggerated, because when I told my state of nothing, I should have told you that I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. So, when I told you that I have nothing, I must have told you one more thing, that to get wealth to do all this what I am doing, I have put my friend in hands of an enemy, in hands of his bitter enemy. I have engaged my dear friends in the hands of Shylock, he is saying. So, this is not being told to Portia. Here is a letter, lady, the paper as the body of my friend. So, this is the letter and the paper is like the body of my friend, and every word in this is a gaping wound, and every word is like a bleeding wound. So, open wound obviously, issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Salerio? Has all his venture failed? So, now again with disappointment he asked to Salerio that all the ventures of Antonio have failed. What, not one hit, not even one survived? from Tripoli, from Mexico, from England, from Lisbon, from Barbary, from India. Now he takes so many names that none of his ventures survived. He has been completely ruined. He asks from Salerio in a rather disappointed way, and not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of the merchant marine rocks, and not even a single ship can escape that dangerous rocks that often ruins the merchants. So this is the way, this is the pity way by which Bassanio asked to Salerio, because he has known everything by the letter, but again he is reconfirming that he can't believe that his friend Antonio has ruined in such a manner. So Salerio says, "Not one, my lord." Salerio confessed that not one of his ships has survived. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the due, he would not take it. And now it seems that if he had money, then the Jew will not take it, because Shylock is interested in taking the flesh rather than taking the 20 times of the money he has given. So he would not take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear a shape of a man, so keen and greedy to confound man. And Salerio is saying that I have never seen a creature who is so much interested, so much greedy to just kill a man, to just kill, to just damage, to just destroy a man in such a way as Shylock is trying to destroy Antonio. He plies the Duke in the morning and the night. So he appeals to the Duke. He goes and appeals to the Duke in the morning and the night. So all time he tries and to appeal the Duke, and doth impeach the freedom of the state. And he do impeach. He says he threatens the freedom of the state. So he threatens the system of the justice of Venice. He says that if he deny them justice, 20 merchants. So if justice is denied to him, then he says that even the system of the justice of the Venice is threatened, because Shylock is prepared to challenge anything, because he wanted one thing, and that is the flesh of Antonio. So he says that the Duke himself and 20 merchants, the Duke himself and the magnificos of the greatest port. So 20 merchant, 20 reputed merchant, and a Duke himself, and this nobleman and nobleman of the high rank have persuaded Shylock not to take the flesh of Antonio, but none can drive him from his envious plan. But nobody can convince him, because he has made a plan of a revenge, an envious plan of forfeiture of justice and his bond, because he wanted his bond to be executed and the date was over. So he was not ready for anything. Duke has convinced him, merchants have convinced him, and a magnifico and a nobleman of Venice have convinced him, but he is not ready to give up his envious plan. So now Jessica interrupts, and Jessica reconfirms that she knows the nature of the Shylock. Jessica says, "When I was with him, I have heard him swear to Tubal and to curse his countrymen that he would rather have Antonio's flesh." So Jessica was the daughter of Shylock. Jessica knew everything. So Jessica says that I have seen my father Shylock taking swear of Tubal and curse his countrymen that he would take Antonio's flesh, then 20 times the value of the sum. So if 20 times of the money is being offered to him, even 60,000 ducats is being offered to him, he will not take that. Rather, he will take the flesh of Antonio, because he wanted the revenge. So that he did owe him, and I know, my lord, if law, authority and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio. And Jessica confirms that if authority, law and power does not stop Shylock, my father, then it is going to be hard for Antonio. Then nobody will going to be help Antonio, because father, my Shylock, my father is very much keen in taking the flesh of Antonio. So now Portia says, "Is it your dear friend that is in trouble?" So now Portia says that Portia confirms that how much dear it to you, how much dear he is to you. So Bassanio says, "The dearest friend to me, the kindest man." Now Bassanio tells that he is the dearest friend to me, and he is the kindest man, and the best condition and the unwearied spirit. So he is the man of the best intention, and he is the man with untiring spirit in doing courtesies, and he do courtesy out of the way, and one in whom the ancient Roman honor more appears than any drawn breath in Italy. So ancient Roman honor is maximum in that person in comparison to any person that roams and move there in Italy. So Portia says, what sum owes he the Jew? Now Portia asks, what is the amount, the debt that is taken? Bassanio says, for me 3000 ducats. Bassanio says, the 3000 ducats have been taken. Portia said, what, no more? What, that's it? Portia thinks that it's a meager amount, 3000 ducats, and defays the bond. Portia says that pay him 6000 and defays the bond. Portia asks that pay him double and just cancel the bond before a friend, and then triple that, and if required then you can multiply it with 3. Now Portia has enough money because so Portia says that you can pay multiple amount of money instead of that money before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. So this type of friend should not get any loss due to the fault of Bassanio, because now Portia is on the side of Bassanio. So first go with me to the church and call me wife, and then go away to Venice to your friend. So first go and marry me in the church, and then you should go to the Venice. For never shall you live by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. Now Portia says that you will never be able to live with such an unsound mind with me. So you just right away from the church, right away go to the Venice, and you will carry the gold of that amount that you can pay 20 times of debt. You can pay 20 times of 3000 ducats. So when it is paid, bring your 2 friends along, and when the debt is paid, you can bring Antonio over here in Belmont. My maid Nerissa and myself meantime will live as maids and widows, and by that time Nerissa and I myself will live like widows and the unmarried girls. So come away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day. So come away, you shall travel. Either it is a wedding day, so it does not matter for you, because Portia understands that how much deep their friendship is. So Portia says, whether it is your wedding day, but you will travel, I know. So bid your friends welcome, show a merry cheer. So the friends that have came from Venice, welcome them and show them a cheerful smile. Since you are dear bought, I will love you dear, but let me hear the letter of your friend. So since I have loved you dearly, and I love you so much that so just tell me what is there in the letter. So Bassanio reads out, spells out the letter he got from Antonio. So in the letter it is written, sweet Bassanio, my ships have miscarried. So he says in the letter it is said, Antonio is saying that his ships have been perished. My creditors have cruel, my state is very low. So my creditors have grown impatient, and my state, my money is getting is almost low. So I am in a very bad financial position. My bond to the Jew is forfeit, and the date of my bond has come, and the date of the bond is getting to expired. And since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, and if I pay the bond, I pay the penalty. It is impossible that I live, because he knows that Jew will take the flesh from his heart. So all debts are clear between you and me, if I might see you at my death. So if between you and me all debts are clear, if you can do one thing for me, and that is if I can see you at my death. This is what Antonio's last wish. So notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If you love, do not permit you to come, let not my letter. So he says that although it is my request to you, but you should use your brain, you should use your pleasure. You have to come, you do not have to come, and if Portia do not permits you, then do not come. Do not compel from this letter to come over here to see me. So this is the letter that Antonio gave to Bassanio, and Portia, when read this letter, Portia gave, oh love, dispatch all business and be gone. Portia says, oh my love, finish all your business here and go. So Bassanio says, since I have your good leave to go away. So Bassanio says, since I have got your kind permission to go away, I will make haste, but I will come again. So I will be in very hurry, but I will come again. No bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposted twixt with twain. So he says, I will not go to bed and not rest until I keep separated from you. So this is the last thing that Bassanio says to Portia, and this way on his wedding day he is ready to go back to Venice. So it's a rather a tragic turn that he won the lottery of the caskets, and there is a pressure on him to directly come back to the Venice to meet Antonio, because the bond is being forfeited and the life of his friend is in threat. So, in this way Bassanio has to return immediately. So, in this way we have finished Act 2, Act 3, Scene 2. So, thank you very much for being with me.